Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl Becky D live in the morning at 7 a.m. You guys, first, I got to start off with my apologies. Yesterday, I did not post a podcast. I did not do one because I actually ended up oversleeping. Now, wow, some of you guys was probably like, oh, you was just tired. Every time we're listening to this, you're busy doing this, doing that, right? I was, but it was that moment where I just knew I set my alarm. In reality, I probably didn't. There's no real guarantee if I did or if I did not. So we're just going to leave that to chance and just hoping that alarm was set and that it just didn't go off, right? So we want to assume that the universe didn't want me to work on time today. So that's the assumption, and that's what we're going to go with. But without any delay, we're going to keep this thing rolling. Okay, we're going to keep it rolling. That's what I get for trying to do something without the lights on. But speaking on darkness, right, and the reasoning behind it. Well, what brought us to the darkness, right? Some people don't realize that we fear it because it was the situation that brought us to it that has us fearful. It's not necessarily that like, oh, well, it's just really creepy or anything like that. It's like, no. Well, what happened was, I had this happen. And so that sent me, let's just say if our darkness is depression. Well, that sent me into this spiral of depression and, it's just turned into a whole thing. And, that's a real thing. Most people don't want to acknowledge it for various reasons, and they, by law, have that right. But it's just acknowledge what it is, right? And understand what it's not. So those are important things to do. You want to acknowledge what it is and understand what it's not. So if I am acknowledging that what I am feeling is going to bring me into a place of darkness, then I need to make sure I'm doing what I need to do in order to stay out of it as much as possible. If I am acknowledging that the person I'm talking to is going to bring me into a spiral of darkness, then I need to make sure that I do not connect with them at that time until I'm in a better place in my life in order to be able to hold that conversation. So there's again just various things that you can do in order to accomplish what you need to accomplish. We get so fixated that oh well, it's not really them and I can still do this. Well, nah, it really sounded like it was, and you probably really shouldn't be doing that. So what are you doing in order to understand what brought you to the darkness and to start to now do things a little bit differently, to change your narrative, to put yourself onto a new pace, and so you can get to a new place, right? We have these things in our lives and these people in our lives that necessarily do not need to be there, and places we should not necessarily be at. And still yet, day in, day out, we do and we do and we do, and we don't think about it. We don't say, hey, you know what? I keep saying that this right here is not a good thing for me. And yet again, here I am back at it again. Why? And you hit them with the why me, right? Why me? Why me? Why me? Well, I'm going to ask you, why you? Why are you allowing it? Why are you still there? Why are you still talking to them? Why are you still interacting with them? Is it because you guys have kids together? Is it because you guys, have common ties or like friends or something like that? Are you still there because that's your place of employment and you're not comfortable going out and getting another job yet? Because, you still feel like people aren't really hiring as much as you think they are, right? So there's different things that's going on, but I'm posing it back to you to think about today. Why? And you can follow the why up after you answer it with another why. And then finally, after you spiraled out of whys and you think you have a solid answer, you need to now follow it up with, what now? And when you get to that what now, you can start to devise a plan and start to kind of formulate ideas and get the real overview of where you want your life to be headed, of where you want to go, of how you want to overcome this thing, and really change the way things are. It's not something that is difficult to do by any means necessary. It's something that is going to be 110%, honest, a little painful at times, but it's going to feel so great during the process. You're going to have to cut that person off, but at the same time, you're going to feel so relieved that you didn't even focus on the pain. You're going to have to go and switch up to a new job, but at the same time, you're going to feel so relieved that you didn't even notice that you weren't driving 5 hours out of your way every day just to go to a job where you can now drive 30 minutes up the road, right? You are going to start noticing that you're having joy in a little bit of discomfort, right? If you go back to my YouTube series, I really harped on being comfortable in the uncomfortable because that's a part of the darkness. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Once you get comfortable in uncomfortness, the sky is the limit. So many billionaires and millionaires out there, and just successful people overall who have found the keys to the life, they understand that you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. Until you're okay with that, you will still be complacent and stuck every single time. So I leave you with this thought today. Ask yourself those why questions, right? Why am I here? Why have I not left? Then once you get those answers, ask why to that, right? Finally, at the end, when you feel like you have enough, what now, right? Get those W questions in there and really get to the root and the source of things. And let's go ahead and climb out of this darkness together and continue to use those light sources that you have. As you always know, I'm going to say it and I'm never going to get tired of it. I love you, okay? If nobody else in the world today definitely tells you that, I love you genuinely and deeply from the bottom of my heart. I do hope that today is a great day for you. We're almost at the weekend, so we're getting closer. Somebody told me, I was telling her, I was like, I take everything a day at a time. And she looks at me and was like, how about an hour at a time? So if that's you today, where you have to take things an hour at a time, take things an hour at a time. Just make sure you get through the day and you keep a smile on your face as much as possible. Because sometimes, even when stuff is difficult, just simply smiling to help change your day and turn that day around for you. As always, my name is Becky D with Becky D in the Morning, and I'll talk to with you all tomorrow.